Bonjour. So now that we have learned the town vocab and all the buildings in it, la ville vocab, I thought it would be really useful to learn this verb, the verb aller, to go. Now I have mentioned this verb to you before and I've shown it to you. I did say that aller is the only irregular ER verb really that we have, a very important verb. So aller is the verb to go. Okay, it is an irregular verb, but it's actually very short and very easy. The key letter to remember with the verb aller here is the letter V. So if you want to say I go to school every day by bus, or I am going to school at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, you say je vais. Je vais. So je vais means I go or I am going. So I go to training every Tuesday and Thursday, or I'm going to the cinema this weekend. So je vais, V-A-I-S. You go or you are going is tu vas, V-A-S. Elle en va, il va means he is going, he goes. Elle va, she goes, she is going. And on va can mean one goes or we are going, because on can mean one or we. Nous allons is we are going or we go. Now I always say to you, don't pronounce the S in nous unless it's followed by a vowel. It is here. So nous allons. Okay, we go. Vous allez, ye go. Vous allez. And ils vont. Ils vont. You do not hear that T there. They go or they are going. So aller is the verb to go. Je vais, tu vas, il va. Nous allons, vous allez, ils vont. So je vais, tu vas, il va. Nous allons, vous allez, ils vont. So remember, V is that key letter there throughout the irregular verb. Now for the nous and the vous part, it sounds like the title of the verb. Aller, nous allons, vous allez. Okay? So it's important that you write this into your notes copy and that you learn it. Now, just one more thing to explain to you. When we're going to be using the verb aller, to go, and when we use it with the little preposition agrave, that agrave might change depending on the noun coming after it. So, for example, first of all, anyway, the important thing to tell you is that agrave means to, at, or in. You remember in first year when you learned how to say I live in Kanturk. J'habite à Kanturk. So agrave means in, it can mean to, it can mean at. Now, as you can see on screen, when the verb aller is followed by the preposition agrave, agrave may change depending on whether it's followed by a masculine, feminine, or a plural noun. So look at the first bullet point there. When agrave is followed by a masculine noun, agrave plus le changes to OAU. Now you've seen this with me before, it's not new to you. So let's look at the example. I go to the park. We've just recently learned the word for the park, le parc. It's masculine, le. So when you want to say I go, je vais, that's your irregular verb aller. Te is agrave and the park is le parc. We should never see a plus le together, so they automatically change to OAU. Okay, so a plus le change to O. Don't be worrying if you're making the mistake in the beginning and forgetting to join them together. Once you're aware of it after a while and you keep remembering it, that's perfect. When agrave is followed by a feminine noun, a plus la stays the same, always. Okay, so a plus la will never change. So she goes to the library. She goes is the present tense of the verb aller, to go. Je vais, tu vas, il va, elle va, she goes. To, agrave, the library that we've learned already, la bibliothèque. No change with alla. And finally, when agrave is followed by a singular noun, starting with a vowel or a silent H, agrave and L' stay the same. You can't change them because of the vowel. So if it's a singular noun now, not plural, and it starts with a vowel or a H, L', leave it alone. So we go to the hospital, nous allons à l'hôpital. So à l'hôpital, no change. If you were saying I go to the church, je vais à l'église, L'. Okay, and the very last part of that rule then is, if agrave is followed by a plural noun, regardless of what the gender of it is, if it's plural, agrave plus lay changes to O, A-U-X. So they go to the markets. Now I know in your vocab list we've learned the market singular, le marché. If I make it plural, les marchés, When a comes before les, it should change to o. So, il vend au marché. So to recap on that, for masculine nouns, if you're saying to the, at the, in the, it's o, au. For feminine nouns, it's à la. If I was saying I'm going to the bakery, je vais à la boulangerie. If I'm going to the post office, je vais à la poste. If it starts with a vowel or a H and it's singular, it's a grave l'apostrophe, no change. And for plural nouns, if you're going to the markets, to the towns, to the post offices, to the banks, if you're making a plural, O-A-U-X goes before it. Okay, so look at these final 4 examples. Je vais au parc, masculine. I'm going to the park. Tu vas à la bibliothèque. You are going to the library. So à la never changes for feminine. Nous allons à l'église. We go to the church, or to the church, sorry, that should say. So we are going to the church, à l'église. So you can't change it because of the vowel. And ils vont à la banque. They are going to the bank. So à la, no change for feminine. Okay, I hope I've explained that okay, and watch this video back. Make sure that you're okay with the verb aller and the rules for agrave followed by le, la, les, l'apostrophe.